Law's death has been foreshadowed since the beginning of One Piece, and if you're a little out of the loop and are forgetful of what actually happened and why Law may die, you only have to go back to the explanation of his devil fruit and why Doflamingo wanted him so bad to join his crew. The reason for that is that with Law's devil fruit, he has the ability to trade his life for someone else's with the Opi Opi no Mi. That devil fruit is the most overpowered thing, and anyone who's read the manga and knows how that Big Mom Law fight ends knows exactly what I'm talking about. But it's easy to forget that Law is supposed to be a surgeon, and I know it's been a long time since he's done anything surgeon-like, and honestly, it seems like his devil fruit is at times let him do whatever he wants kind of thing within the room. But there's a lot of different ways that they're gonna play with this idea of him trading his life for someone else, and almost in a way probably bait the audience into thinking he may trade his life for someone, or he may not die at all. Or the third option that a lot of people are thinking about, and if you're up to date in the manga, spoilers are ahead, is Blackbeard gonna steal the devil fruit. Now, let's look down every one of those routes. The person he's probably gonna revive, if anything, is Luffy, and we don't even need to go too far into it. With his gears, there's a lot of foreshadowing that the gears are draining his life energy or life force, shortening his lifespan. There's a whole thing in Impel Down where he lost 10 years of his life. It would just make a lot of sense if one day in the final saga, he's trained his life energy, if you will, or life force, and then Law needs to revive him because Luffy just plops down and dies. Now, that would be a pretty epic moment, and it's fine, even though the audience all know and kind of are anticipating that happening. It's fine. It would still be hit. It would hit well. The execution is perfect. Just because something is expected in a way does not mean you cannot do it. So I would be very satisfied with that, and if executed properly, the audience will feel very satisfied in the end. And I think there's a lot of ways too that they would want to keep Luffy dead for a period of time in the final saga, just to set up some matchups, like say a Kainu, say Luffy dies during the Kainu battle, then you could have Garp versus Kainu, something like that, just to isolate matchups. Maybe have Zoro fight. Maybe if it happens during the Blackbeard fight, you could have Zoro fight Blackbeard. That's a matchup no one's really thought about. Stuff like that. It adds variability to the battles, which I think would be really cool. And I'm sure, there's this issue of Luffy has to take down the big bad, and that's fine, right? That makes sense in a lot of ways. And I think, though, the issue is sometimes you don't even see other characters fight the main villain. So that allows for variability there and who's fighting the main villain for a period of time. Kind of similar to like Naruto and Sasuke, how they temporarily died for a period of time. And to moving on to the next point is them not killing Law at all and not using the ability. I don't really see that happening. It's just like a huge missed opportunity. But it's also like the way Oda would do this in a way to make it intense, right? Because it's going to be a big part regardless. Is Oda could have a lot of characters going after Law to bring him to Blackbeard, which I'll get into that more. For characters to go after Law to bring him back to Blackbeard means he gets away here, which I don't know if they would rehash that. I find it really unlikely that they won't do anything in terms of him not using the ability. But killing Law so he can't use the ability would also be a really good way to go about it. I really think Law will die. And I think that would be a really good way of faking out the audience into thinking that he's going to use it to revive Luffy at some point and then he abruptly dies. But I think that leans into the Blackbeard point I was talking about earlier. If Law dies, there is so many cool ways and cool characters that could kill him. Doflamingo coming back and killing him would be cool. Although I don't think Oda would do that because it would render a lot of Dressrosa a little useless. Not useless, but it would almost feel like we got played in Dressrosa, seeing Law defeat Doflamingo and then to just take that away. It would be cruel and it would be very cool, but I don't see Oda doing that. I don't know if there's many characters that Law has a type of dichotomy with that would make sense for him to die to a certain character. But if Oda throws out a curveball, I would very much like it, because I feel like it's kind of predictable how it's gonna go, but we'll see. The third point being Blackbeard stealing the devil fruit. Obviously, here's your manga spoilers ahead. So Law and Blackbeard's fight, I hope it's not completely off screen, but maybe it will be. If we remember with the Blackbeard and Ace fight, Blackbeard takes Ace to the Marines. I don't think Blackbeard is going to be taking Law to the Marines in this occasion, but I do see Law getting away from this battle. It just doesn't really make sense to put Blackbeard in a position where he has Law's devil fruit would be extremely overpowered, and not that that's like a huge strong point, but it's also like, if Blackbeard has Law's devil fruit though, this huge door opens, and which is another reason why this may actually be the strongest opinion, as strongest option as I'm thinking about it. But if Blackbeard gets the devil fruit, 100% he would revive rocks and they would go down that route, and that would be so crazy. I don't know how that would work in terms of like who would fight rocks, who would they really have fighting rocks. Would it be Garp? If they have Blackbeard revive rocks, I would bet that they would have Garp come back and fight rocks at some point in that battle and die. I could definitely see that. Maybe it would almost be like a Bleach thing, and then a lot of Luffy's villains in terms of the Marines would side with him to help take down rocks. That would be, I don't know how I would feel about that. I hope they don't do that one, but there is so many cool things that could happen if Blackbeard gets it. Now, I don't know if, in my head, I'm struggling to remember whether the fruit allows him to revive or if it's a straight up trade of life, but I don't see Blackbeard trading his life for rocks in that way. And although there is a lot of theories about Blackbeard himself literally being rocks, which I don't think that's true, that would be cool. I'm a supporter of the Blackbeard octopus theory, him with the 3 hearts, not sleeping at night, that theory. But the will of rocks, much like Luffy has the will of Roger, I could definitely see though some way they have it so Blackbeard can't die, but he can use the revive ability. That, it wouldn't surprise me if Oda writes that in, or maybe it makes sense in the lore as is. But the Blackbeard killing Law, taking his fruit, reviving rocks would be absolutely bonkers, insane. I don't even want to know what would happen to the internet when the chapter comes out. If it did, the spoilers would go crazy. Speaking of spoilers, the spoilers for the next chapter will be my next video most likely. Hope you guys have been enjoying the content. Definitely on the uptick. Let me know any changes you want to be made to the videos, in the editing, in the commentary, in the content. I'm willing to do any real kind of commentary video, even outside the range of anime, in terms of entertainment, sports. Let me know, leave a comment, and I will catch you guys in the next video.